Okay, so today is Sunday and I'm gonna make my yogurt for the week. I'm finding we go through about 2 liters of yogurt a week. Milk's on sale at Circle K on Thursday and Friday, so I picked up the 4 liter for $6.19. It's usually $6.89, so you're not saving a ton of money, but a little bit. And then I'm gonna make 2 liters of this full fat into yogurt. So I don't need any special equipment, just a pot of boiling water. You can also just boil the milk in a pot, but I do find it kind of scorches to the bottom a little bit, so I'm gonna boil them right in my mason jars. 2 1-liter mason jars. I'm using wide mouth just because I just rinse these out from my sprouts. And then this is a little bit of yogurt I had left over from last week. I just take a little bit out to start it, and a thermometer. So step 1 in this very simple process is just to get your milk heated up. Filling up 2 1-liter mason jars here to make 2 liters of yogurt. That's just about what we use in a week, so I don't want to make it every day, so this will keep easily in the fridge. And I just fill it up to about the 1-inch headspace there. You want to leave enough room at the top so that you can add your culture in after you've gone through the heating process. As you can see, I'm not using any special equipment here at all. You can use an Instant Pot, or I believe you can also use a crock pot, but I already have a stovetop and a pot, so this is what I'm doing. I'm just stirring up the yogurt a little bit and putting the thermometer in there, and I've started out on a medium-low, or about a medium, and we're just trying to get up to 180 degrees, but we don't really want to go over 180 degrees. We don't want it to boil. We just want it to come up to temperature. This entire process of bringing up to 180, I find, especially with having the jars in water, it does take a little bit longer, but it probably took about 20-25 minutes to reach this temperature. And just probably every 3 to 5 minutes, I just take a little plastic spoon and just give them a stir to easily distribute, make sure there's no scorching. After 25 minutes or so, I'm just giving a stir here, and it looks like my thermometer there is up to 180 degrees. So now I want it to stay at this temperature for about 20 minutes. I'm just going to check both of the milk to make sure they're both up to temperature. And then I'm going to turn my stove down to low and set a timer for 20 minutes. Okay, so that's been 20 minutes. It held pretty consistently at 180. You do have to pay attention to this, but you don't have to babysit it too closely. I'm also making apple crisp and doing laundry and dishes and everything else. So I'm just going to take these out and pop them over here on my cutting board, and you're going to let them cool down to 110 degrees. All right, so these have been sitting for about probably an hour, just sitting on the counter here. You could cool them down for faster if you put them in a water bath, but I didn't want to forget about them. So it's down to 110 now. And you're just going to skim off. There's probably a little bit of skin on top. There's not really much on these. So you don't want to add your starter before you get to 110 degrees because you could kill your starter. This is just leftover yogurt from my last batch. And we're going to pour about half in each. Give those a stir. I'm just going to pop some lids on these and just put them in the oven with the oven light on, with the oven turned off. And that is it. I'll come back in 24 hours and we'll see what our yogurt looks like. All right, so I apologize for the lighting. It's about 10 p.m. right now. I just wanted to take these out of the oven before I head to bed because I didn't want to forget about them in the morning. But as you can see, so these have been just sitting in my oven with the oven light on for 11, 12 hours, probably 12 hours. So as you can see, it's quite thick. And you can just leave them like this and you can just store them in the fridge. But I actually like to take the little bit of liquid off. I've read that the liquid has the whey has a higher percentage of lactose in it. And I have one daughter that needs to kind of limit her lactose intake. So I find it's better shows less tummy troubles if I take the liquid off. So I'm just gonna strain the whey into here. And then what I'm gonna do is take like maybe 2 tablespoons out of each of these and put it in this container. And this is gonna go straight in my freezer. That's gonna be the starter for the next batch of yogurt I make next week. So this is the next morning. These just sat in the fridge overnight. Just showing you just how thick this makes it. And this is a 12-hour. If I had went the full 24 hours, it would have been thicker, but it's also a little more sour. And mostly I just didn't want to forget about it in the oven. All right, I'll go over costs and see if this is worth it. So very simple calculation. I used 2 liters of milk, so a total of $3.10. I just used my starter from the previous batch. So that made 1,500 grams of yogurt and then 100 grams of starter. So for 1,500 grams, that equals 21 cents per 100 grams of yogurt. I also used my burner for about 1 hour. I did not calculate this cost. It was probably less than 10 cents as most of that time it was on low. And just to compare that from my local store, we're looking at about 54 cents per 100 grams, 47 cents, and this last one is $1 per 100 grams. So you are saving money by making your own yogurt, and it's super, super simple. Thanks so much.